What's up, guys? Back again with another video, and I am going to, with Falcon and the Winter Soldier out, I decided to do something, and I'm going to be going back and watching all the MCU movies and reviewing them, not in chronological order, of course, but in order of release date, um, and just reviewing them, giving my thoughts on what I think because we've had some hits and misses, and I just want to give my opinion of overall. And today we're starting with the very first film, and that is Iron Man, released in 2008, starring Robert Downey Jr. and Terrence Howard. Now, going back and watching this film, I forgot how great this film was. I mean, going back and watching it, it was like my first time watching it, and and even back then, when MCU didn't have, when none of this was planned out, it was still a benchmark for what would later come. And Robert Downey Jr. just embodies Tony Stark. I mean, he's still smug, arrogant, selfish prick that we um, that we got used to and known to love, and he is watching rewatching this. I completely forgot how shitty of a boss he is. I mean, he cares more about his own needs, and when he's supposed to be responsible, he's out acting like a spoiled teenager. And something else, it's not until he's captured, almost loses his life and held hostage that he realizes that it's time there's a time for jokes and there's the time to be an adult and take action and for take responsibility and just grow up and mature a little. And James Rhodes is there for him to guide him along the way, and kind of feels like him and even Pepper Potts is his babysitter, um, and he's completely unresponsible. And I completely forgot how great Terrence Howard was in this role. I mean, he really did do an excellent job, and it's such a shame that we didn't get to see his full potential as James Rhodes, because I would have loved to seen him continue that character throughout the universe, because um, he got the end of the stick, but I mean the show must go on. But the I'm not a fan of huge origin stories, and I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. But I think with this character, with Iron Man, I think it was necessary because going into it, not a lot of fans knew about Tony Stark and his character until maybe this movie and until the Iron Man Armored Adventures TV series, which is, in my opinion, one of the best Marvel TV series of all time, and it's one of my favorites, which I still go back and watch. Obadiah Stane is an excellent villain, very underrated. He doesn't get talked about enough, and he's still one of my favorites in the MCU. And I think that uh, even though we didn't get a lot from him because a lot of his stuff was cut down for Tony's sake because it was an origin story, he did make the best of what he was given, and he didn't disappoint because he is really a compelling, menacing uh, villain, and he's still one of my favorites. I mean, the dude is a badass, and I think that the action scenes are great. The the humor still holds up. It doesn't feel as forced as some of the later stuff would feel, and it doesn't feel out of place or unnecessary. Um, the chemistry between the cast members are great. Like like Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow, if I'm saying that correctly. Paltrow. Yes. And the I am Iron Man scene that still holds up to this day. And this movie is an overall fun movie to watch, and it was a great debut for the MCU, which would um, even putting this movie aside, not going into this movie, they never had a plan for a whole universe, and even if they did, this movie would still be great. It wouldn't even matter. But I love this movie. It's still one of my favorite MCU movies, and still one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. Great villain, great humor. Love the action scenes. The test flight Iron Man scene is one of my favorites, where he falls out of the sky, but he catches himself. That was really awesome. But overall, I love this movie. It's still one of my favorite superhero movies of all time and MCU movies of all time. This rating, the star rating for this, I'm gonna give this movie 3 stars. This is great. Um, Go back and watch this movie. It really does still hold up to this day, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. And don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.